Hi guys! I am reaching out to you right now just to give you an update as to the changes that we are going to be going through in the next few weeks. So at this point, you know that starting the 18th, Santa Ana College will be moving all of its classes, or 95% of its classes, online. And what this means to us is that pretty much the landscape or the format of our class is going to have to change. Two things that I would like you to consider, though, is that regardless of what changes are going to be made, I will remain flexible. I know that this is a learning experience for you. You didn't expect to take an online class this semester, and this is not going to be a traditional online class. And then the other thing I wanted to focus on is, regardless of moving our class online, I think the most important part is that we keep learning. And that we keep you on track to passing this class by the end of the semester. And I promise I will do whatever I can to meet and to accommodate specific learning styles or changes of schedules, whether that has to do with work or childcare or just like accessibility to the internet, devices, things as such. So the reason I'm providing you this video today is because I want to clarify a few things. One, we have our first virtual meeting class on Wednesday. Two, I expect you to be at that virtual meeting. And three, I've posted some announcements that I'd like you to review prior to our Wednesday meeting. So these announcements are on the announcement page here, or we can just click announcements. And the first one I want to show you is our class is meeting virtually on the 18th, but in order for you to be able to access our virtual meeting, I need you to go ahead and download the Zoom extension on your browser. You can do this on a laptop, tablet, or a cell phone device. So wherever you are, as long as you have internet access, you will be able to participate in these meetings. So you'll have to click here and download the Zoom application. And then first thing on Wednesday at 2:30, I will send an announcement to remind you where to go. But you'll just have to click on this link right here, and it'll open up your camera, your mic, and it'll show you me and the rest of your classmates. One thing to note about this, though, is that you don't have to show your face if you don't want to. It'll just be a black screen with your name across the screen. And I will automatically have everyone on mute. I will only unmute you unless you have a question, and you'll have the opportunity to kind of raise a virtual hand to ask any questions throughout our first virtual class meeting. So if you're sharing a room with someone or there's a lot of things going on in the background, don't worry about that, because you'll be on mute. And if there's too much going on and you just have headphones on, there's also a spot for you to type in questions rather than just speak them to the rest of the class, right? So think of this as a video conference call with the entire classroom. And that's what our first meeting is going to be about, or that's how our first meeting is going to take place. And during this time, I will review everything that will change from this point on until the 24th or 23rd, I believe, of April, which is the tentative date for lifting the virtual classes and returning face-to-face. I say tentative because we're not sure whether this is going to happen. They might have us continue being quarantined or keeping safe distances. So we'll kind of play it by ear. But that's one thing to note, right? So just briefly reviewing. On Wednesday, you'll just go to Confer Zoom, click there, click this link, and it'll take you to where we have our video conference or our virtual class session. Please take the time to read this entire note, however, because I do have specific details and obviously informative information, but information regarding the changes that our class is going to go through. Also, I put out some student resources for you. If you didn't know this already, Spectrum is offering free Wi-Fi to anyone with people enrolled in a K through 12 system or even college students. So you might you might, sorry, I had a brain fart. You might qualify for free internet for 60 days. Also, there are some centers and resource centers on campus open. The health center is still available, but it's through telephone. So I would call them if you have any questions. The Learning Center is also open, but they're only offering, as of right now, they're offering online tutoring, online DLAs, online English workshops. As when I first posted this, they were still offering online or in-person tutoring. I would just call. You can find their number online. I would just call them and see if they're still doing this. Last I heard, the entire campus is closed down, but I'm not sure if they will reopen it in the meantime or in the near future. So I would just call and say, hey, do you have in-person tutoring from what time to what time? And you can go during that time. The library is also open. I know that they are currently figuring out how to keep this social distancing. So I believe the computers there are going to be available, but not all the computers are going to be available. I think they're only going to have like 1 to 2 to 3 maybe computers available in a row, so we can have like that social distancing and we're away from one another. There's also food pantries all around Santa Ana, and I know that Santa Ana school districts are still offering free breakfast and lunches for children. So make sure to call your local elementary, middle, or high school because they might still be offering lunch for your children. And if I know at this point, meeting at 2:30 to whatever time, right? Virtually might be kind of difficult because maybe you're being asked to take on more hours. Maybe you are now the primary person caring for a child or just like a loved one in general. And this might be getting in the way of the class. Know that if your hours were reduced or your work hours were reduced, I'm kind of all over the place here, sorry. Know that if your hours at work were reduced or if you were let go, or if you're quarantined, if you're sick, you might qualify for government assistance, and this might be in the forms of food stamps or just like a paycheck at the end of the month to kind of help make sure that you're okay and you stay stable. I've provided a couple links here in regards to that. In regards to having additional responsibilities, as far as like now you're the person taking care of children or you're taking care of someone else, know that I'm very flexible. I know that so many things are changing right now. They're changing a ton for me. I can't imagine how much they're changing for you. So just know that I will work with you and be flexible. You just have to let me know ahead of time that you're going to miss a virtual session or you can't make the due date because of whatever reasons. Just keep me updated and I'll work with you one-on-one to make sure that you're still able to submit the assignment, that you do well on it, and that you get through the rest of the semester, right? What I really want to make sure are two things. One, that all of us are staying healthy, but two, that we continue learning, because that is why we're here, right? So here's some safety measures on what you can do to stay healthy. If you're sick, please stay home. Talk or call your doctor, call your doctor essentially, and if you have to go to the hospital, make sure you call them ahead of time, if it's like coronavirus related, just so they know how to quarantine specific areas and to make sure that no one else gets it. Lastly, I just want to say regarding this announcement that I really, really care about your passing the class. And again, do not hesitate to reach out to me in case you have any concerns. And this takes us to our second announcement that I want you to make sure to review. So again, obviously there's no class today, but there is a virtual class on Monday via Zoom, and you know the link. But you remember that you have to download Zoom. For homework, there's still homework, sadly. Please be sure to read They Say, I Say, The Art of Quoting. This will be very beneficial for you. But after you read that previous announcement that we just went over, and after you review this page here, I'd like you to go to the course questions discussion board and post any questions that you have regarding the changes that our class is currently undergoing. And the reason I want you to post these questions is because I'm actually going to go through and address every single one of these questions in our virtual class setting on Wednesday. That way you have all your questions answered and you feel less anxious about it. Okay, so please first read the announcement because there's a lot of information on there, and then go through and post your questions. I have already posted an announcement here, and this has a little bit more information on free internet or discounted internet. And then here's a list of the schools that are offering free breakfast and lunch in the area in Santa Ana. But if I hear anything else, I will post on this thread as well. So in the meantime, what I'd like you to do between now and Wednesday is to please read these 2 announcements. Please download Zoom on any device that you would like, and post on the course questions discussion board post in regards to questions that you have regarding our transition from face-to-face to online, and go ahead and read that chapter from They Say, I Say. It's, I believe, chapter 3, The Art of Quoting, which I linked on that recent announcement, but it's also under modules. So in the meantime, any questions, go on that course question discussion post. I will see you guys, literally I'll see most of you on Wednesday during our first virtual meeting. And if you, what was I going to say? Sorry. If you face any obstacles into downloading Confer Zoom or anything at all, please email me as soon as possible so I can help you kind of figure out what's going on. And the last thing I want to leave you with is I've never been in this situation before. I am a little nervous about it. I have taught online classes before, so I feel that using the digital tools and how to present information is really, honestly, it's not what I'm worried about. My concern is that how do we move from a traditional face-to-face class online, right? And I promise you I'll do my very best to make it as seamless and as easy as possible for you. Again, I know that you are probably a little bit worried or concerned, but you have to let me know what your worries and concerns are so I can make sure to address them and they're no longer issues. So again, please get those tasks done, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Stay healthy and be safe. Bye.